Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and more. Before we begin our live recap of Family Karma and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, be sure to like this video if you haven't liked it already. I love when I see you guys already in the comments. Shout out to some of my favorite people. Shannon Van is there, Danielle's there, Veronica, Nicole, Cubby, Diana, of course, Janice is here. I love it. I can't believe we have to talk about race again. We talked about the Real Housewives of New York yesterday. If you missed that recap, be sure to check it out. We had a really great conversation of different voices about this issue, and I love hearing it. And we're going to continue that conversation today, talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but we're also going to continue that conversation because the Real Housewives of New York conversation continues next week. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Today, I uploaded a new video talking about the new documentary coming from ABC News Originals and Hulu about the housewife and the hustler, Erica Girardi and Tom Girardi, and the legal drama that's going on with them. If you missed out on that video, again, be sure to check out the channel here on Kempire Daily. TikTok, if you're wondering who I'm talking to, head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're live there. We're also live on Facebook, the Kempire on Facebook, Kempire Radio Network on Facebook, and Kempire Daily on Facebook. I did want to let you guys know, as you may recall, I am on CAMEO, but starting tomorrow, from June 4th to June 11th, CAMEO is doing a really amazing new promo. And I want to make sure I get this promo right because they literally just told me about it today. So when you book a CAMEO with me, that could be for a birthday, that could be for an anniversary, if you're just looking for advice or you just want me to say hi, CAMEO is going to do this for June 4th to June 11th in celebration of course, Pride Month. They're going to be donating 20% of our net proceeds for every CAMEO that I make, and I can elect whatever percentage I want to do, and I've elected to give 100% of any money that I make from the CAMEOs that you guys request in honor of Pride Month, and you can give it to any of these charities, including Centrelink, GLAAD, the National Black Justice Coalition, Outright Action International, SAGE, and the Trevor Project. So for this month alone, not for this month, sorry, June 4th to June 11th, book a CAMEO with me in support of the LGBTQIA plus community. So along with talking about Family Karma today, as I said to you before, we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and we're going to do another home tour. Yes, y'all know I love this stuff. We're gonna take a deep dive into the Lake Tahoe Sherman Estate. I found it on Airbnb, and we might have to book it for the Kempire community, getaway. Lake Tahoe, 2024. Gotta book it that far in advance, y'all. Gotta book it that far in advance because I gotta save up. Shout out. Hold on. Diana says, so excited for the interview. If you're wondering what Diana's talking about, shout out to our boy Up and Adam. You see me on Up and Adam's channel a lot. You've also heard Up and Adam on the Kempire Radio podcast that comes out every Friday. Don't forget. Well, he just posted the trailer for a new interview with Fallon Gobadia. I will be going live later tonight to talk a little bit more about the Portia situation and about that trailer. So again, if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Shannon Van says this, love Family Karma, thought it was a pretty good premiere. Love it. Wonder how many episodes they're going to give us because the first season only gave us 8 episodes. Shan, if you want to call in and share your thoughts, please feel free to do so. We already have a couple of calls, which I'm excited to talk about. Look, I know I'm very critical of Bravo. I've been critical of Bravo, and I will continue to be critical of Bravo. I don't care if they give me a show. I'm going to be critical because I'm a straight shooter. Pow, pow. Oh, shout out to Julie. She said, please give me a shout out. We love you. Who's we? Who's the we? Okay. Sorry, y'all. So Family Karma, look, I've been to India twice. That does not make me Indian. I'm just saying I've been to India twice, so I have a love affair with India. And I'm so shocked that I didn't get into the show when it premiered, but I'm glad that I have, because there really is no one singular star in the show, because I love the parents, I love the grandparents, I love the aunties, I love the friends. Look, this was an arranged friendship. You know, we hear about arranged marriages in the Indian culture, but this was an arranged friendship. But it seems as if, even though it's an arranged friendship, it's very organic. It seems as if these people go hard for each other. But not only are we getting an introduction into Indian culture, Indian religion, Indian ideas, Indian everything, we are also seeing how someone that is openly gay survives within the Indian culture. And we're introduced to another gay person in this cast of characters, Dillon, this season. We're going to talk about Dillon because Dillon and Vishal, I might be pronouncing. Look, I just got into them. So if I'm mispronouncing names or I forget names, you'll have to forgive me. All right? You're going to have to forgive me. But I am loving this show. From the very first season, I just did a deep dive into the first season so I could prepare for last night's premiere. I thought it was, I agree with Shan, I think it was a solid premiere. I love the cast of characters. And I hate to call them characters, but I call everyone characters on these reality shows because they're not real to me. These aren't my friends. They're characters in my life. All right, I'm going to stop screaming. Okay. Okay, so someone in my TikTok said that, dude, what kind of culture are you talking about? They don't represent all Indians. We understand that. The same way I don't represent all Black people. But they are giving a taste of their culture to the world. So it is what it is. No one's saying that all Indians are the same. Let's not start with that, y'all. And TikTok, if you're going to start with that, I will turn off this live and keep it focused to YouTube. I just keep TikTok on to give you guys a behind the scenes situation. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Uh-oh. I see a familiar face. Let me bring her up. Hey, Danielle.
Hey.
How are you?
I just slammed my laptop closed when I saw you were coming live.
You just slammed it? Why'd you slam it?
It's been one of those days.
Uh-oh. Girl, it's about to be one of those days. I'm about to turn the TikTok off. See, that's the thing. I like to talk about the fact that, first of all, I'm giving Bravo props for doing what they're doing, because not only have they introduced us to the Shahs of Sunset, but now they're doing this show, Family Karma. Look, we understand that these people do not necessarily represent the entire Indian culture. We Absolutely. Get that. Yep. But it is a different culture that they're sharing on television.
Yep. It's not the traditional old school, I hate to, let's just say Caucasian, white, happily ever after picket fence. Mm-hmm. It's not that we're starting to see, regardless of it being just a little speck of the culture, we're starting to see it on television.
Yeah.
And that's
and I'll say this, if you don't like our conversation, you know what you can do.
Oh. Bloop.
Just saying. Anyways, let's continue with the fun, because that's the one thing that I love about our channel. And as I said to you before, we get more love than we get ignorant comments. So
that's with the strong side eye.
And you know what it is? And I'm just going to say this because, look, I usually don't give people this much attention. I don't have to keep the TikTok open. I keep it open because I know there are a lot of people that want to watch it there, or they want to watch it on Facebook, or they want to watch it here on YouTube. But I was just like, you know what? I like to keep it here. I used to just keep it open for a little bit and then turn it off. I'm about to turn it off.
Just don't look at it. Just keep focusing here.
I'm going to bring Shannon Van is here.
Hey, Shannon Van.
Hey, guys. How are you?
I thank you, Shan, for being here. Thank you, Danielle, for being here. You just seeing your smiling faces, even though Danielle is a picture, her hot girl summer
good picture to look at.
Hot girl summer 2021.
Yeah, I can't. Ladies, let's just jump into this episode. First of all, I did a deep dive into the first season, and I fell in love. I'm just shocked that I didn't get into it before, because look, as I said to you before, I've been to India twice, so I obviously love India. I love the culture. I love the people. I love everything that we're learning on this show. And as I said before, this is just a few people that we're getting to know about in Miami. So I wanted to talk to you before we get into the premiere episode. I'm going to start with Danielle. I want to hear your initial thoughts of season 1 when you first saw the show.
Okay, so initially when I started watching the show, it was in a space of fresh pandemic home, nothing else to watch, kind of bored. Let me see what they're doing. Let me see what they're talking about. Then when I saw like almost 30-year-old kids still living with their moms, the blessing of the BMWs. And it was just a whole lot of stuff that I loved. And I was just tickled pink with it. And I kept watching through the whole season. I loved it.
Do you have a favorite person from the crew?
I did at first. I want to say Monica because she was going through her whole fashion career thing. Fix your face.
Isn't that?
That's not Monica.
Okay, which one is it?
That's
then?
Anisha. Now you get why my face was like that.
Because I was like, Monica. So but wait. Only reason why I know the difference because I literally did a deep dive recently.
Okay. So who's the one that lived with their dad? That's Monica, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I just thought that their relationship was cute. I like that part of the mom.
Can I ask a question?
Okay. I know what you're gonna ask, and nobody knows.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm not gonna even say it. Because we'll talk about it. We will talk about it with Vishal. Thank you, Lord. I'm just getting into it, y'all. I said I'm gonna probably pronounce these names incorrectly. I'm sorry, Danielle, I cut you off. Continue.
No, it's fine. So I like their relationship, and to your point, it's never been discussed. That part has never been discussed. But I think that's okay because we see it all the time. It's just not really talked about. So it's just they don't talk about it, and we've seen it happen in other communities where they don't talk about it. So I didn't stress about that. I paid it no attention and just kept going. The big hairy one, what's his name?
Vishal.
The one that's been dating the girl for an awfully long time, and then finally initially I was a little puzzled with him. He just seems a little awkwardly social to me, or socially awkward.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah. But all in all, overall, it just reminds me of the Indian version of Shaw's of Sunset.
Yeah, and it's from the producers, the same producers.
From the same producers. It's probably why we get the same sense. But even when they have their parties and the aunties, and it made me watch, there's another show, I want to say maybe on Netflix, that kind of has the same demographic. Well, not the same. It has the exact same demographic, but almost like the same platform where it's a reality show, but they're like in India doing this.
Oh, right. That is on Netflix. Yeah.
It was to watch that.
It was boring, but I loved Louis Vuitton bags, the Louis Vuitton luggage and stuff. I tried to watch it. I couldn't get into it. Not like this though, but karma has me.
Okay, Shan, what were your thoughts, your initial thoughts of the first season of Family Karma? And did you have any favorites? I shouldn't just throw, do you have a favorite? Did you have favorites?
Yeah. Okay. So first thoughts were amazing. This is the kind of reality I want. I want real friendships. I want real relationships. Don't put a bunch of strangers together and try and make magic happen. It's not going to happen. My favorite was Brian and family because his mom and dad are kind of cool. So I have to say Brian and family.
Yes.
He's sort of like that fun guy, right? Like he seems like he's got a good heart.
I'll be honest with you. I fell in love with my Brian. I fell in love with him.
So cute.
I fell in love with him. But in regards to like characters that I fell in love with that bring a lot of personality, is probably more his mom and his dad more than him. Like I fell in love with him physically, like I can admit that. But I have to say some of the other characters are growing on me because like with attraction, once you get to know people, you become a little bit more attracted. So Vishal, I'm a little bit more attracted to. I know he's a mess. He's goofy. I'm attracted to his personality.
His mama boy personality, his non-alpha personality until he got to the basketball court. What was that? What was that?
We're gonna get there.
I'm jumping ahead. Sorry.
No. We're gonna get there.
It was a mess.
I do want to say I do enjoy. Oh my gosh, Amrit.
Yeah.
I enjoy him. He grew on me at first. I wasn't sure about him. I was like, I don't know how I feel about him. But I especially in this episode, how he defended his friend. I was
feel
like,
last season he was really reserved. Now he's comfortable and he's showing us who he really is.
yeah, I have to say, based on watching season 1, as I said to you before, my favorite instantly was Brian. I was like, oh, hello.
Hey, hi.
How are you doing? Can we talk a little bit just before we get into this episode? Because look, as I said to you before, I did a deep dive, so I want to kind of backtrack for those that aren't familiar with Family Karma to kind of give you an idea of some of these characters. I hate calling them characters, but they're characters to us because we don't know them. I love Bali, the auntie slash not auntie. I think she's amazing. But yeah, who else was there that I enjoyed from the first season? I'm trying to think. The aunties, though, as a whole, even Richa,
Yeah, Richa.
yeah,
The mom.
her mom, Lopa. I
Lopa
enjoyed her
auntie.
messiness too.
She's reality TV. Lopa
She's
auntie.
gold.
They can't break up because we need her.
Yeah, they can't break. Well, okay, that'll be the perfect segue for the premiere episode.
You're
it seems
welcome.
as if they. Thank you. It seems as if they called off their engagement. They've been together over 9 years and engaged. How many? Like 2 years? And
No,
now 3
longer.
years.
One. I thought they just got engaged last season on the first
No,
season.
that was their
That was the
engagement
official
party.
engagement.
party.
But they were. He gave her an official ring. But way before that. But they did official, Indian engagement, and they broke off during the pandemic. Well, first of all, he said he got COVID. I love the fact that he talks about his Crohn's disease. I think that's very relatable for a lot of people that go through that we don't see on television. I thought that was very relatable, and I'm glad he shared that. So he talks about catching COVID early on and how being in therapy has, brought a lot of clarity for him, but it also brought a lot of clarity for his relationship. And she pretty much called off the engagement. How did you feel about that, Shan? Would you be engaged that long without getting married? I'm just saying.
I dated my ex-husband for 10 years before he proposed. So that's why I know it's a bad idea. I said,
but that's a difference,
ex-husband.
though. But wait, that's a difference, though, because how long were you engaged, though?
2 years.
Okay, that's not bad in comparison.
True. I just they don't fit. Do you guys remember in season 1 when she would like stay over at the house and he would lean over to kiss her and she would push him away?
Yeah.
That's the part that always got me. It didn't. There was no chemistry physically between the two of them. Like you didn't see two people who enjoyed being around each other, who felt like they were in love with each other. And maybe that was that. I don't know, because we know about the arranged marriage stuff, but it just seemed awkward between the two. And then the fact that her mom didn't like him, that didn't sit well with me either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that happens though. We see that in all kinds of relationships. But you're right. I didn't feel a deep chemistry between them, but they chose each other. This wasn't an arranged situation.
But did they choose each other on each other's resume, or did they choose each other's based on their feelings?
Well, that's different.
Ooh,
that's
good one.
But his resume was terrible.
But wait a minute, to your point, we do see times where the potential in-law doesn't like the potential spouse.
Yeah.
But usually it's in a situation where the couple is so in love with each other, they don't care about what anyone else thinks. This is a situation we see no chemistry and the parents don't like the potential. So it just didn't make sense.
Do you think they will get back together after all that time? Oh, you do, Shan. Why?
For the check, for the show.
Oh,
I was just thinking that. I was wondering if they might do that for a storyline.
We see each other.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he could go find another Indian girl within their community and get engaged to her.
Can he?
Or guy.
Yeah, totally awkward. Can he?
Wait. So I see a lot of people in the comment section. I want to just point out, and I think it's very important for us to point out, there are plenty of effeminate men that are not gay. And I honestly do not believe that Vishal is gay. I do believe he is comfortable in being effeminate. And this leads me to the conversation that they have and part of the title of today's live. Vishal threatening Dillon, who we're introduced to. Let me just throw a picture of Dillon because I think this is so great, especially for young Indian gay people to see someone like Dillon on the show. But we have to talk about what Dillon was doing. Dillon I'm not gonna say allegedly because Dillon admitted it. He was spreading rumors about Vishal, saying that Vishal's gay, that Vishal's giving professionals. First of all, do you guys believe in I'm going to start with Danielle because I can kind of read Shan's face. Danielle?
Now, is it that Dillon is lying, or does Dillon know some truths?
That's what I was thinking.
I didn't even think that. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's think of the history of the characters on this show. They come from a tight-knit Indian community in Florida. So they all know each other's business. Is it that Dillon knows something? And I wasn't even, when I say that Vishal is socially awkward, I wasn't trying to allude to him potentially being gay. I'm just like, he's awkward. Like, I don't see him. He doesn't have that, I guess, that je ne sais quoi that most guys have. Like, I don't see him going to a bar to try to holler at a girl and pick up like, he just doesn't have.
There's no swag. There's no swag, right?
He doesn't have swag. He is socially awkward for some reason. And then he's like tall and beastly heady and all that. Like, it's a lot going on with him. But I really think Dillon might know something. I don't think it's all a lie.
I just want to preface for those in the comments saying I'm butchering names. I already gave you, if you're late, I already gave you this disclaimer. I literally started watching this show yesterday. So I'm not that, look, I haven't corrected myself in regards to the names just yet. So please forgive me. Maybe I should put that in the ticker below. Please, this is the disclaimer.
Give us time for the names. Give us time. It's only episode 1 of the 2nd season. Give us time.
Yes, please. Goodness. Or we can just call him the awkward one. You already know who we're talking
about. The
about.
awkward hairy one. That arm hair.
Yes, the hairy one.
So, I mean, Shan, what are your thoughts on this rumor that Dillon was spreading around about professionals and him being gay?
I didn't catch the professionals part. Oops. Damn.
You didn't? He screamed it.
I probably was, when things get too hot, even in my own life, I go la 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 la. Don't want to hear it. Okay, so okay, I think Dillon is trying to secure his spot. Give me 1 sec.
No problem. So I'll say this: what I think in regards to what Dillon said. I mean, like Danielle said, I kind of felt the same way. I kind of felt like maybe there was some truth to it, but at the same time, part of me is sort of like, no, I don't necessarily believe that, because I do think if he was gay, he would come out, especially because he's good friends with, even though I've seen that too. Look, don't get me wrong, I've seen that too, where someone's really close with, has gay friends and things like that, but they're still in the closet. I've seen that too. But I kind of feel like he would come out if he really was gay. You know what I mean? So
would he?
Oh, I'm trying to give him some. I actually really do like him. I really do like him.
I think it's twofold with Dillon. I think he might know something, and I do believe, which I'm agreeing with Shan, he might be trying to secure his spot too.
Damn. I hate to look at all these shows so damn calculated, but you might be right. Yeah. But since we're talking about this situation, I do want to talk about the pool party, of course, for Brian's birthday. Happy birthday, Brian. Belated at this point. But the fact that Dillon's brother, Sean, there we go. The fact that he felt the need to defend his brother, and they kind of gave the backstory, because the Patel family are they're the OG family in this community. And I don't know about those statues in their home. Look, I don't know about those, but the property, like, come on. But I love the fact that his brother told the story about defending his brother from such a young age because he was gay. I was like, that made me tear up. Did it make you tear up, Danielle? Or maybe I'm in my feelings this month.
That maybe. That's cute. Mm-hmm. But I think that's what you're supposed to do when you have a sibling, regardless of what their preference is. Like, because at the end of the day, I feel like siblings have a bond where they've grown up together. They fought. Can't nobody fight my sibling but me. And can't nobody talk about my sibling but me. So if you see me, you see her. You see her, you see me.
What did you think about the conversation that he had with Vishal?
I don't even remember it. I fell asleep at that part.
Oh, you know what? Well, so I'll let you know what happened. Pretty much, Sean Sean, confronted him and was saying that that wasn't cool, because the part that we're forgetting is that when they had the conversation on the basketball court, Vishal pretty much threatened Dillon for spreading that rumor. He said that he would, put his face in the ground.
I remember that part.
How do you feel about him threatening Dillon like that? Because Dillon did look like he was scared. Because he's like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm serious."
I didn't know how to take that, because to your point, Dillon's facial expression, I didn't know how to take it, because I didn't know if he was doing it for the camera because of Dillon's facial expression, or I was confused. So I just didn't know how to take it.
I'm hitting the. I think Dillon fake cried. I want to point something out. I kind of feel like Dillon uses tears, because even in the fight between his brother and Vishal, you see him start to cry when they're talking about it. And look, certain things can set people off and they'll start to cry. But I do kind of feel that Dillon is playing victim a little bit, because I get where he's coming from. You should never threaten violence against someone, but you don't control how someone's going to react if you're spreading a rumor, not just about their sexuality, but about their relationship. You don't know how someone's going to react you're saying that I'm giving professionals to somebody,
and within their community, because there's so many rumors in their community, like that one rumor could affect his whole family and everything else. Like if word got out, it's like a domino effect on who it's going to affect in his family. So yeah, you have to be careful with that.
And that's the thing. I think I probably would have had a different opinion if we didn't have the fight on Potomac. I've really changed my opinion on how people react in situations when you provoke them. And look, I'm glad Miriam's not here, because I don't want to start that conversation. But Miriam, I didn't see you there. Miriam, where were you hiding?
I have been here, honey, but
they've been sitting there.
You give me good luck. Good things are happening now.
Oh, yay! Look, Miriam, but since we brought up your name, I know you watched the show, and I don't want to bring up Potomac. So let's focus.
Okay.
But what I was saying is that I have a different opinion. I have a different opinion in regards to someone saying or doing something or provoking someone like this particular situation. We can't tell Vishal how to react in regards to someone spreading rumors about him and his relationship.
And to be honest with you, I think he was very peaceful, because being a close friend of his, he knows there is turmoil in paradise between him and his fiance. And for him to say that, it was like, this is where I really loved what the lawyer said. He said, even he's
Amrit.
Amrit. He's not gay, but if he was, are you outing him? How dare you? How dare you? You, of all people, should know you don't want to be outed by anyone else but you outing yourself when you are ready.
Yep.
That was disgusting, to be honest with you. And for everybody just to look at their reaction, people need to understand, yes, we can control our actions. And he did not hit him. He did not put his hand on him. But he
threatened him.
But he threatened him, because if you keep on doing this, this is what you're going to get. So he gave him the grace of a warning.
Yep.
And for him to be outraged by the warning, he is like just bad-mouthing him. Let's face it, they do not represent all Indian community, but on the vast majority, they are very, very conservative.
Yeah.
And you just don't do that. And I agree with you. I think he thought that was cute and would bring him up on the show, which is a shame. He is cute on his own right. It looks like he has money. He doesn't need to go below the belt to get on the show. He really didn't need to do that. And it's unfortunate. They all should apologize to Vishal. I really, he broke my heart yesterday, Vishal.
And one thing I have to say, one thing I have to say in regards to Amrit defending his friend, his best friend. First of all, I respect that, but it also made me look at him like, look at you, you're sexy.
Somebody is crushing.
And mind you, when I first saw him, I was like, okay, he's cute. I was like, I was hoping Brian was the gay one, but look, it is what it is. Wendy, thank you so much for the super chat. Wendy says this: I was all for Vishal telling Dillon, keep your mouth shut, not Dillon's business to spread. I had to fight all through the 90s on behalf of my best friend who was outed due to rumors like Dillon's. Team Vishal. Thank you again for the super chat, and thank you for that comment, because I agree. And I'm glad that Amrit pointed out that particular fact as well. But one of the things that happened during that fight that I did not expect was Sean's girlfriend, Pooja, getting in Brian's face. Mind you, it's Brian's birthday, and was like, I wrote down what she said, because I was like, how dare she? She said, hold on, where is it? What did she say? Oh, Pooja, she was like, back the F off. I was like, what is happening? Did you, Danielle? Oh, no, Danielle, you missed that particular. You might want to rewind, Danielle, so you could watch that fight. That was like the best part.
I already have it queued up to watch it.
Because I didn't expect the girlfriend to be so crunk. I was like, really, girl?
I would not expect that of someone either.
They also described the fight as a nerd fight because Sean and Vishal are not necessarily the fighters.
Well, no one's a basketball player either, but that's obvious.
But the thing is, the fact that Vishal is so upset about the situation and he's normally very peaceful, that should say something to all of his friends. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about this show in general is how deep rooted these, even though they're not blood relatives, on how, because even at this party where Brian's father came over, he was like, oh no, calm down. Your family. I was like, oh, this is really sweet. I love this wholesome stuff. Because there's really no crazy drama going on within the show. It's actually a very wholesome kind of show.
It is.
I feel like it's great that we have this on TV. What'd you say, Danielle?
How long do you think this wholesomeness will last, though? With them getting, the more popular they get, the more fame they're going to have. And then I'm wondering, how are we going to lose them?
Well, look at Christine Knows Best. Even though that's probably heavily produced, I still enjoy that show.
We still enjoy the show, but look at them in real life. They're a hot mess. You got messed up with taxes. He's not talking to the oldest daughter. You have a child who's in and out of drugs.
What does that have to do with us?
No, what I'm saying is, as far as family karma,
yeah,
you and I both agree. We like how these are true friends, even before the show, because of the environment, because of the demographic that they're in. Like, they're a bonded community. I'm just wondering, the fact that we like this show means it's going to keep getting popular, because we're not going to be the only ones who like it. It's going to keep growing. We might get to a season 6 or 7, but will we still have that bond by season 6 or 7?
Fingers crossed.
But yes, let's keep our fingers crossed that fame doesn't get to their head.
I think it already has.
Well, some of them, yes. Some of them, yes.
Like which ones? Which ones, Miriam?
Like the other, not the Dr. Monica, the other one, the original Monica.
Oh, the original Monica.
I feel like from the get-go, she was the only one trying to portray a certain image.
The one in the middle.
I agree.
She is beautiful. She is gorgeous. I wish she wanted to be truthful like all other casts. Like, take Dillon out. She wasn't there. All other ones, they are so self-deprecating. They say the good, the bad, and the ugly about themselves. They're not saying, oh, me, 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 me. You know what I mean? So this is what was beautiful. And it was a shame that I thought Bravo was going to let them be only one season. Thank God here for the diversity card, because it brought us them back. Let's face it, I think they didn't know that the show was going to be so catchy. I was hooked from my kids. This is a show that I watched with my kids, and I don't watch Bravo shows with my kids. But Family Karma, because my kids, they're, I don't know if it's because of where they are in school, but most of their friends are Indians, so they love it. They love it.
Oh wow! Well,
last week 3 Indian kids here in my house. So.
Oh wow! And I wonder what their thoughts on the show is, because it's always interesting for us that aren't necessarily in the particular culture to watch it on television. But I'm interested to see what other Indian people think of the show. But speaking of other characters that I love on the show, Anisha and the whole Anisha versus the original Monica situation. First of all, Danielle, how do you feel about Brian dating another Monica? Because we know last season Brian had a crush on Monica, his best friend. And I've been in that situation where one time I was not necessarily in love, but I liked someone, but they didn't like me at that time. But then I got over them and then they started liking me. And then we were just not at the same place. And that seems as if where Brian and Monica were. But now they're dating other people. She's dating the dollar store Drake, and and he's dating another Monica, his Monica, as he like his mom.
So to your point, we can't control who we're attracted to. So initially, just think about how it is when you first meet someone. You don't know their name when you see them physically. It just so happens that her name is Monica. Now he trumps the other Monica on all levels because his new Monica is a doctor. Oh. So it's like, yeah, I might have another
and
Monica.
A beauty.
And yes, I might have another Monica, but she trumps the last Monica. So yeah, I think he kind of won with
She's
that.
Gorgeous.
She is. I think that was a win-win situation for him with that one.
Yeah. And I'm happy for him because he definitely is ready for a relationship. I'm not sure, at first I wasn't sure about Monica. I kind of liked her, but now I've kind of turned a corner with the original Monica, especially when she was getting into a beef with my girl, Anisha. Anisha, to me, she's awkward, but she is hilarious. And I love her mom as well. Miriam, what are your thoughts on the whole Anisha and Monica beef?
But that's Monica. Monica again being Monica being fake. Why are my cameras not working? Okay, sorry.
You turned it off.
I know, because good things are happening. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to hear this. You're gonna have to tell us later. You got a what? Say it again.
I'm gonna get emotional. I'm gonna get emotional. It's good. It's good.
Her cheeks are all rosy and flustered.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not romantic. It's not romantic. I'm still thinking.
You're not engaged?
No. Anyhow, let's talk about Monica, okay?
Okay. Let's Monica. But wait, before we get to Monica, what do you think about Anisha? Did you freeze?
No.
What a time to freeze.
I don't like her.
You don't like Anisha?
Her. No, I always thought that she was playing too cool for school. She was, but only for Vishal. He was always so vocal about how much he loves her, this and that. I feel like, dude, you've been 9 years with this guy. You should stand up to your mom, say, he's the one that I want, but act like it. She did have a conversation with her mom like that.
No, but that's not who I'm talking about. That's Risha. I'm talking about is it Anisha?
Anisha, the single one that's
yes, with freezing her eggs.
I love her. I'm sorry. I
love how you went in on Risha though.
She is my favorite. She's my favorite. And in my head, together with Vishal, that would be my perfect couple.
Oh, Danielle, what do you think about that?
I hadn't thought about it, but now it's in the front of my mind.
Same.
I would.
But Miriam, what do you think about the whole beef between Anisha and Monica? Because you already don't like Monica.
Well, it's Monica being fake. What she said, what she's upset about is obvious. They were very flirty, and they still are. Despite they are in different relationships, both of them, that's part of their relationship. And she doesn't like, because she wants to be portrayed as this perfect Indian girl. And you can't steer from that an inch, or else she will have a problem with you. And I think people are siding with her. No, like if people think like me, girl, just take a seat.
Oh, not take a seat. What do you think about her new boyfriend, though, Monica's new boyfriend, the dollar store Drake?
I agree that he looks like a little bit of Drake, but not Chanel.
I think he looks better than Drake.
Oh, no. Drake is my guy. If you know someone that looks like Drake, give me a number.
I do.
Young
Monica's boyfriend.
No, not taken, please. I don't want to be
Not-
another Portia.
Oh, we will be going live later, Miriam. Just an FYI.
Oh Lord!
I'm so excited, my day.
To have we'll probably be going a lot. There's a lot of stuff coming out in regards to Portia. But look, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay. I'm going to go back to Danielle. Any other thoughts on the Family Karma premiere episode? As I said before, I felt like it was a solid episode. I am in. We're going to do a recap every week.
I'm in. I'm ready to recap weekly, and I'm going to go back and watch I'm going to fast forward to the basketball court scene and then go from there. That's the last part I remember.
And honestly, that was the biggest storyline from this very first episode. Yes, there are a lot of other small things that happened throughout the episode that I enjoy. I like the family humor. I love Anisha's grandfather. He cracks me up he breaks the fourth wall. He is literally Kathy Hilton. He's breaking the fourth wall, looking at cameras, trying to grab microphones. I love him.
That's the magic of Family Karma. That's their magic. They always, from the get-go, because they're so family-oriented, and most production, they're Indians as well. So they have that bond that, you know what I mean? So from the first episode, they were breaking the fourth wall. And
yes, they were. And it's always with the damn grandfather.
What?
But, I have to say, I'm fully in. We're going to be recapping it. We have over 150 something people in the chat. Like this video if you haven't liked it already. If you enjoy reality TV recaps like this, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out when there's breaking news, when we go live, or when we upload. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat, especially the mods. Appreciate everyone being here. So we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. All right, let's get into this because, as I said to you before, breaking the fourth wall, Kathy Hilton's bringing it, y'all. Kathy Hilton is bringing it. I didn't realize how kooky she is, and now I kind of feel bad for Kyle because I feel like Kyle is always trying to save this family. Danielle, what were your thoughts on Beverly Hills?
Where do you want me to start?
Let's start at the Crystal and Sutton first conversation the night before.
Sutton. Oh goodness, how do I start with her?
I'll tell you this. I'm gonna start.
Okay.
The whole explanation that we wanted from Ebony in regards to why she said to Ramona, "Your white fragility is showing," i.e., Sutton Strack. That is what white fragility is.
Absolutely, and I think it showed even more. And I know I'm kind of skipping ahead when I say this quote from her. When she says she feels like as a Southerner, she has to prove that she's not racist.
And Erica was like this. No, because she tried to bring it. She wanted a cosign and she didn't get it from Erica.
Wanted a cosign and she didn't get it. However, I know me, and I know when I think about white Southerners, I do instantly assume that they are racist. And I went to school in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
So
maybe because I'm from New York, that's not the first thing that comes to mind, to be honest. And also because I know a lot of white Southerners.
I know a lot of white Southerners, and my family is from Sparta, Georgia. So I know a lot of white Southerners, but it's one thing to know them and one thing to see them. Just like when a lot of white people will say, or they see a black man walking on the same side of the street from them, they'll cross the street. So they just instantly assume that black man might potentially rob them. I don't not assume that white person isn't racist.
Wow.
I don't. I mean, depending on where I am, like if I'm in Atlanta, I probably won't think it. Even in Savannah, I might not think it. But if I go to Sparta, Georgia, where when I was growing up, they only had one stoplight. I think they might have 3 to 5 stoplights now. I'm probably going to think it.
Well, you know what? One thing I will say, though, I felt like Sutton's excuse was her comparing it is such a difference. Your comparison about people assuming that you're racist versus the struggle of an Asian woman or a struggle of a black woman, there is no comparison, sister.
Absolutely. And the fact that when Crystal said we just have to agree to disagree, and her response was, what are we disagreeing on? Like, what is the argument here? Like, you don't even get it. You're that shallow and you're that into your white privilege and your white self and you have no clue what's going on, you don't even get what she's saying.
Yeah.
You say you don't see color, but yet your ears and eyes aren't even open to receive what she's saying to you.
And I think we had this conversation yesterday, and I thought this was such a perfect segue episode into talking about continuing this conversation that we had yesterday. When she says, "I don't see color," we have to let everyone know you have to stop saying that. We get what you're trying to say, but saying "I don't see color" is almost the same as if you don't see me, you don't see anyone of color. No, what you're trying to say, I'm gonna try and interpret, is that you don't base your judgment on who someone is based on their color. But saying "I don't see color" is problematic.
And honestly, from what Sutton has shown us, I don't believe that statement from her.
Oh, that part. Danielle, explain.
Again, this is me stereotyping Sutton, but she comes across as this white privileged woman who thinks, and again, this is just my perception, my assumption, who thinks that basically a Black person couldn't be on her level, whether it's finance, whether it's education. She comes across as if she's king no higher.
Whoa.
Okay.
One of the things, and Danielle, the only reason why I'll bring you into this, we won't get into the specifics, but when we talk about white guilt or white tears or white fragility, I probably would have had a different perspective if this literally did not happen to me and Danielle witnessed it. Right, Danielle?
Yes, I did.
We won't get into the specifics, but I literally had this experience with a white person in public. And
on the live, or you guys were...
We won't go into the details.
In public.
It was in public.
In public.
It was witnessed by many. And the use of, look, I'm not gonna get, basically Sutton crying and making it all about her and what her struggle is the problem that we have in our society today.
I agree.
You're making it about you as opposed to understanding where I'm coming from or what my experience is. But with that being said, I like Crystal. Crystal is an elitist, and I'm going to say it every week, and there's nothing wrong with being an elitist. We need that from our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills housewives. I like it. I like the commentary that she brings. I like the conflict with her and Sutton because it's going to continue on. Yes. I will preface this by saying Sutton did release an apology last week after last week's episode. If you want to see the apology, go to her Twitter. I'm not going to go into it. Listen, you can go read the apology. I read the apology. It is what it is. But I do like the fact that these conversations are going to continue, and we'll get into more about Sutton a little bit later on in this episode. But before we get into more of this episode, I'd like to do house tours. Let's take a tour of Lake. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is a typical example of how white privilege gets annoyed. And what people need to understand, not all white privileged people are bad. I don't think her intentions were bad, but this is where she needs to stop and listen. She told her not to say that because that offends me. So that should be good enough for Sutton to respect that. This is where she was blinded by the way she was brought up. I don't believe that she's racist. I believe that what she meant was, I don't see color. She meant, I see everybody equal. Then say, I see everybody equal. Then say that, especially when you're being called out. And that's like, I think at some point in my life, I would say, oh, I don't see color, thinking that. But now I know it triggers people. And to be honest, it started triggering me because I'm brown. I'm not. People think I'm white in the winter, but I tan very well.
I can't with you. But you know what it is? And then that's the thing. And we get it. For many years, people would say that all the time. I don't see color. I don't see color. Now it comes across condescending. It comes across condescending. And as I said before, you have words that you can use to clarify and appropriately say that, no, I don't judge people based on the color of their skin. But as I said before, this situation with Sutton is not over. But before we continue this conversation about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, again, we have over 150 people in the chat. Like this video to support the channel. And look, it seems that we got 3 haters already disliked. That's okay. Disliking also helps the channel. Appreciate you. Let's get into a little tour of the Lake Tahoe house that they are staying at. Because I love looking at property, and I said, "Oh, we got to look through this property before this episode is over." So let's go into it. It is an Airbnb. Let's get into this, y'all. Ooh,
look at that view. Look.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back. First of all, do you see this? Do you see this?
Just look at it.
Just look. Contemporary chalet near South Lake Tahoe. This is where the ladies of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are staying. It has only 5 reviews, which is shocking to me. And it's the reviews are 4 point. Maybe we should read the reviews after we look at it. Okay. Well, I'll read the quick description of the Lake Tahoe house. As I said to you guys before, I love looking at properties. Basically, this is a 16 guest, 17 bedroom, 24 bed, 18 bath accommodations.
This is a mini hotel.
Yes. And it costs $8,000 a night. $8,000 a night.
And you said you're here when? 2024?
Yeah, 2024. We're gonna go.
Okay.
Lake Tahoe. We're gonna have a Kempire retreat. Okay. Mark my words. We're gonna have a Kempire retreat. I don't know. It's gonna have to be a select few because it's not that many beds. 24 beds. We're gonna have to double up.
That's a no.
$8,000 a night, y'all.
In our space too, so it will be very exclusive.
Lord. Okay. Let me read this quick description. It feels like sparkling Lake Tahoe is yours for the taking at this 15-acre estate that can host up to 40. A winding driveway leads to outdoor living spaces, and a hot tub and fireplace let you linger with special views on the rooftop deck. Watch movies in the home theater, pit stop at the wet bar, and play pool in the game rooms. Lakeside beach and 2 heavenly mountain ski lifts are a 10-minute drive. All right. Sounds luxurious. All right, let's get into some of these pictures because that's what you're really here for. Let's look at this. Okay, so this is the inside. This is where the ladies of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are looking at. TikTok, if you're wondering what we're looking at, head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. You can see the photos there. So it's a big open space. It's beautiful. Do you really think that Lisa Ren is the one who booked this and is paying the $8,000 a night?
She might have put it on her Amex.
You know what? I can't stand you.
I don't think she paid a dime.
She didn't pay anything.
You know what I think? I've seen this home. I follow Haley Page. You know that designer that does.
You froze.
Wedding dresses.
Yes.
And she goes to Lake Tahoe a lot. I don't think that's her house, but this looks like very much the house that she stayed at.
Oh, I'm sure she probably paid $8,000 a night. Let's go. Let's take a little tour quickly through the Lake Tahoe Sherman Estates. Look at that view, though. Look at the view. It's amazing.
Wow.
Okay. All right. This is where the ladies would sit and eat. Very cute, very rustic. I love the decor. In comparison to Simon Gobadia's tour that we did, if you missed that out, go check that video out. I'll post the link later.
This is giving great restoration hardware look.
Yes, and I love a restoration hardware.
All love restoration hardware.
Now look at this kitchen. This is a beautiful kitchen where Kyle burnt the salmon.
Salmon, yes.
Oh my God, who burns the salmon?
She does. And she's supposed to be a good cook. But look at the amount of windows, all that natural light that's coming in. Look at the countertops. Oh, this is gorgeous. Okay, so this is one of the bedrooms. All right. Okay, a little corner. All right. I'm ready to book this today. Can we book this for 2024? Look at the shower. Okay. Okay, this is
cute for couples. This is very cute for couples. That shower was really big.
or other things.
Oh my God.
Another beautiful room. You know what I love? The use of natural light in these spaces. Another room, more natural light. Look at all this natural light. And it almost has the outside coming inside, which I love. I don't know about all the carpeting. My allergies already. Just saying. But hopefully that it's vacuumed regularly. Okay, this is beautiful. Beautiful. The decor, the rustic decor, which is perfect for this particular area. I think this is great. Okay, there goes that big old shower. Here's another shower. This is gorgeous. I think they did a good job with decorating this place. Look. I just want to see if there's anything that we haven't seen. I'm overlooking at bedrooms because they all kind of look the same to me.
What if we did some digging and found out that this was owned by like the Hilton Corporation or something?
Oh, damn.
I really don't think Lisa Rinna paid for that.
No, she did not. I already know Lisa Rinna did not pay for this. $8,000 a night?
Hell no.
I mean, she could afford it. I'm not going to say she can't afford it, but I know she's not going to pay for it. Have we met Lisa Rinna? It's a gorgeous place, though. It's a gorgeous place.
There's no shark on the wall.
Wait, say it again. Was there a shark? No, that wasn't a shark. That was like skis.
Yeah, there's no fish room. Yeah.
No fish room. Not Dorinda's. This is not Dorinda's Berkshire's home. It's a nice space. I enjoy it. I think they had a very lovely accommodations.
Yes.
I was hoping to see more than just the bedrooms, but I guess that's important for people. But this alone, I would spend most of my time out in these spaces.
Yeah.
You're overlooking Lake Tahoe, the bright sunlight coming in. This is gorgeous. I just decided to do this so you guys can kind of get a look into where the ladies of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills were staying. And if they left their mark. Oh, there's a room to watch movies and things like that. Oh, there's a pool. I didn't know there was a pool. Wow. Oh, and the pool overlooks. Oh, this place is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. But since they're outside, let's talk a little bit about
what about $2,000 slippers?
Yes. Can we talk about Sutton's $2,000 slippers? I mean, is that surprising?
No, not really. I mean, the fact that Kyle recognized them because she said she was getting ready to order them, but she didn't order them. I do like how Kyle is always transparent. She was like, I didn't order them because of the price tag on them.
Yeah.
And she's kind of always alluded to things in the price tag sometimes, depending on what it is. So, and then of course, Sutton had her stick up her butt and was like, well, we don't talk about money. We don't talk about money. Oh, girl, get over it.
Like that's all she talks.
Well, yeah, because last year was all, Dolce & Gabbana made this just for me with her awkwardly shaped body and her little toothpick legs. Like, they're making stuff for you and you don't even have the body to fill it out. Shut up and sit down.
Look, I'm not going to beat up on Sutton yet. What did you guys think about Garcelle bringing up the whole interaction that she had with Paris Hilton always being on her phone?
Okay.
And Kathy Hilton saying, well, that's a defense mechanism that she uses because she's so awkwardly shy. Miriam?
Repeat that again, because I thought you were going somewhere else.
No, Garcelle brought up that her interaction with Paris Hilton, she would always be on her phone when she would see her at fashion shows. And she was like, that was, weird. And Kathy defended her by saying, well, she always would be on her phone because she's very, very shy.
I like that. I don't think that it was mean-spirited by Garcelle. And not because I love Garcelle. I really don't think that was mean-spirited. I think it was an observation of a younger gal, how she behaves in front of people. And Kathy was the mom. She defended her daughter. So I was glad. This is the kind of arguments I like to see. Very civil, but they're not deep. and everybody's okay with it, you know? So she didn't go like after Garcelle saying, "How dare you bring up my child?" Because she knows her child is not a child anymore. It's like these housewives, they forget that their kids are over age now, they're adults. And, you know, and she didn't say anything that's wrong. It's true. She's always on the phone.
Where do you
Probably
think I was?
on the phone
Where
now
did
watching that.
where
Hi,
did you?
Paris.
Where did you think I was going before when I brought up Garcelle? The dinner?
I thought you when she brought up when she again. I think because I missed last week. I have FOMO. That's bad. I missed. I have terrible FOMO. I was so happy with Garcelle when she talked with Lisa again about their conversation. I was like, thank you, because Lisa thought she got away with it. She needs to know that she's treading lightly, seriously, and what she did was unthinkable. And don't defend me if this is your defense to friends, because and obviously she wasn't a friend. She's gaslighting.
Oh
This is what
Lord!
I wanted to tell you last week when I missed the call. I wanted to say gaslighting. That's what Lisa is doing to Garcelle, pretending that she had Denise's back. She had the bullseye on Denise's back. That's what she had. Still
In a
has.
recent interview, Lisa addressed what she saw on the show, and she wasn't happy because she thought that she did make peace with Garcelle, and she wasn't happy with some of the things that Garcelle was saying in her confessional. So the fight between Garcelle and Lisa Rinna is not over. Is not over. I want to move on just because there were a couple of things that happened in this episode that, you know, speaking of Garcelle, there was that dinner, but I just wanted to backtrack because there was an important part of Crystal's story that she told in this episode. It was a personal story that she told about an experience that she had with her dad and someone being racist against her dad and her dad being scared. And he just kind of, I think they were at a gas station and they rushed out of there because of you know, what we're seeing today with people targeting the Asian community. Danielle, what were your thoughts on Crystal's story?
When I heard it, I instantly thought, I instantly thought of the recent episode of Black Ink that I just watched, where Bay was in Atlanta when those 8 Asians were shot up in Atlanta and how scared she was for her life. But listening to all of the Asian hate crime, it makes me think about a few things. One, in the Black community, Asians own a lot of nail salons and liquor stores, but yet they always have all this plastic stuff up to protect them from us. So I would love, and I have a couple of Asian girlfriends that I can have this conversation with, but it makes me want to sit down and have a conversation with them to find out why they're so fearful of us when we feel like we're just in fear of them because they're quick to either shoot at us or call the cops. And that's just like in the urban Black community, let me say.
And that's a whole other deeper conversation. Yeah. And maybe, look, who knows? Maybe we'll see Garcelle and Crystal have that conversation. Maybe.
But listening to Crystal, I definitely felt some type of way for her. But it did spark an interest for me to do my own deep dive to learn a little more about the Asian culture and what their fears are and how they feel about their experiences and racism.
Crystal and Sutton did connect on the dad situation because Sutton's dad committed suicide and Crystal's dad passed away from Alzheimer's. So there was a connection moment for these ladies, and it seemed as if they were kind of got over their issues. We do know, because we saw the trailer, that these issues do come back up even at the end of this particular episode. But before we get to the end, can we talk about Kathy Hilton? Kathy Hilton, I didn't think she brought a lot in the first episode. I think people were being very dramatic, like, oh my God, Kathy's so funny, ha ha ha. But Kathy in these last couple episodes have been cracking me up. She has been cracking me up. Her putting eardrops in her eyes, her needing a fan, her always needing Kyle to come help her going to Kyle's room and eating chips and having a Red Bull. And she's like, what's wrong with having a Red Bull? You're not going to go to sleep.
At 1:30 in the morning.
Like that for real?
Yes, I believe it. Look at Kim.
Well,
Kyle's
Kim's
the only
different.
sane one.
I don't think Kyle is the mean one.
I mean, but she's also, and when I say sane, I feel like I'm using that loosely too. But of the comparison in between Kathy and Kim,
Yeah. Well, I love Kathy. She's a great addition. I hope she doesn't want to be a full-time, but to be honest, she doesn't need to be a full-time to give us more of her. Just put her on the show as much as you can, because I'm sure they have tons of footage. I can't wait for the never before scene episode to air, because these are
they haven't done that
favorite.
though for these last couple of seasons. I mean, at
They
least these
will
other
with Kathy,
cities, they
they
haven't
will.
done them.
Because
With
it's
Kathy,
COVID footage. It's not a lot of footage. It's COVID.
There's not a lot to say about Erica in this episode. I think a lot more is going to be coming out in regards to Erica Jane. If you missed the video that I did, Erica Jane has it's not her documentary, but a documentary on her and her husband, Tom Girardi, will be coming out. If you missed that video, be sure to check out the Kempire Daily YouTube channel for more details on this ABC News original and Hulu documentary that's coming out later this month. Actually, in a couple of weeks, to be honest.
Can we backpedal real quick?
Say it again?
Can we backpedal real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a couple of things with Kathy. So one, I want to answer your question about Garcelle bringing up Paris. I don't think she did it to be malicious. I just kind of thought it was inappropriate. And I only thought that because I watched Paris's YouTube documentary that she put out, and where she spoke about these things, and she spoke about, her changing her voice, that just basically she created this character that she physically looks like herself, but mentally she was someone else. So I thought it was I just thought it was rude for her to bring it up.
Garcelle has those moments though. Even when she asked last season, Sutton how she made her money. Garcelle has that thing.
The timeline.
Say it again.
Can I ask something about the timeline? Was the documentary out when they filmed this?
Yes. The documentary came on YouTube the beginning of the pandemic, like when lockdown first happened.
Oh, okay.
Nice try. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I really like, honestly, I'm not going to push back. I like Garcelle.
I do too. I like Garcelle. I just thought it was rude.
Look, everyone is going to have a different opinion on if they thought it was rude or not. I do think Garcelle has a thing about asking certain questions that some people would deem rude, like asking about how they made their money. Some people, especially people with money, would be like, "That's a rude question to ask."
Yeah, but I love knowing that. I know.
Because you're nosy. Danielle, what you're saying?
I was going to say also, I guess when I think about, and I can't call Paris the younger generation because she's kind of like our age, but when I think about, and maybe I just know this for my own self, if I'm out in an environment and I don't feel like being bothered with people, I am going to pretend like I'm all on my phone so that no one will come up to me and talk to me. And I guess I was expecting Garcelle to just know that. But to your point, I'm okay with her asking the questions that we're thinking that no one else will say.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I wanted to backpedal on. The other thing was with Kathy, it is so hard to look at her sometimes. I swear, every time I see her, I see Caitlyn Jenner. And when Lisa Rinna imitated her, I almost fell out the bed of laughter with that quick little glimpse of her imitating her, and how she was able to keep one side of her face stiff like Kathy's was hilarious. I love Kathy being on the show, but I need her to stop. I need her plastic surgeon to either be his license revoked or something. Like, he needs to be fined.
His license revoked?
He's no longer allowed to cut on her face anymore. Like, no more
her face, but other people's?
Well, anyone that's getting to that point where they're half of just think about when Lisa Rinna was imitating her. She literally had that one side of her face sit still like Kathy's, and it was hilarious.
I can't. I have to. That's actually a perfect segue, because I do want to talk about the dinner that they had and Kathy pranking them about the bottoms up prank.
Hilarious.
First of all, I love the fact that they all decided to prank Kathy, because Kathy was pranking them, but they decided, we're going to prank her, and we're going to be downing water as well. But of course, it leads to Sutton feeling left out because no one told Sutton, and then Sutton gets very emotional. We saw this last season. This wasn't a shock. If you weren't familiar with Sutton before, then it was a shock to you. But what did you think, Danielle, about the prank?
I thought the prank was hilarious because Kathy thought she was pranking them. They thought they were pranking her, and it was just one circle of pranks until Sutton got involved.
And Crystal tried to, first of all, her kicking Sutton. Sutton was like, "Why are you kicking me?"
But
Sutton is such a prude.
When Kathy said, "Oh, she must have really long legs. That was a long kick." Like,
because she thought it was at the table.
Yes. But that's why we need Kathy on the show, for those little dabs right there. That little stupid stuff. Even though she looks like Caitlyn Jenner, that's why we need her on the show.
I agree.
I mean, I just hope comments like the one you just made won't scare her away from the show.
Oh, I'm sure she's heard that before. I bet you we do a side-by-side of her and Caitlyn together, and they're probably not even friends anymore, because I'm sure because of Kyle's relationship with Chris that Kathy and Caitlyn probably don't even speak. But if we could get a side-by-side of the two of them together, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And look at you over there Googling, Kemp.
I am.
They all go
I don't see any pictures. Go ahead.
They all go to the same plastic surgeon.
I don't know if they go to the same plastic surgeon. I think it's just happenstance.
Kyle, her features, like when at that brunch with Garcelle, she looked so different. In the confessionals, she looks way more better. I think she healed.
Well, healing, makeup, maybe some touch-ups as well.
Yeah, but I think back to the Sutton being kicked, I think she still resents being called out by Crystal. And that's a residual. And it wasn't a deal. This is why anything that's gonna come from Crystal now is gonna be heightened.
Do you think that she thought this whispering that they were doing was about her and the problematic things that she said during this vacation so far?
100%. Because that is still in her mind. For her now, just recently, I don't follow her on Twitter or whatever, but you said that she posted an apology.
Yep.
I think just now she's realizing how problematic she was. And it's unfortunate. Like, she had the golden chance to show growth on the show. But then again, I'll accept growth any way it comes. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But I wish she apologized really then and not waiting for any backlash heard by the fans.
The other thing that happened during the dinner was the whole conversation about her defending, from being from the South, and what people think of her because she's from the South. And then, of course, Dorit was like, well, Erica grew up in the South, but then she moved to New York, and then she moved to California. So, she just has a different feeling and a different vibe. And then Sutton's response to that, well, I went to, I lived in Paris, I lived in this person. And I was like, look, this goes back to Luann, Countess Luann, talking about culture versus education and her getting that mixed up. Just because you went to Paris and London and lived there, that doesn't mean culture. That doesn't mean culture. That doesn't mean that you're familiar with all of these different cultures because you lived in Europe.
But you know who else that piggybacks with too? When Dorito was trying to say that she was so cultured because she lived in all these places, and she named literally 2 places, and she was an adult. Dorito comes from what? Idaho, I think she said one time.
Wait. In defense of Dorito, she said there were just too many places to name, and she could name the places she hasn't been.
And I believe that's a lie.
I do too. Everything comes out her mouth. I'm like, yeah, girl.
Everything that comes out of Cool Ranch Doritos' mouth is a lie.
Okay, this is the only time you'll hear me defend Dorit.
Oh, okay.
Dorit, I feel like when you're exposed to different cultures, you are bound to get something, let alone when you live for an extended period of time, which Dorit did. And I say that because of I am Lebanese 100%. My parents are from the same village, but I was born in Latin America. I was born in Brazil. I lived there. I'm not going to say I'm old. Yeah. I lived there for an extended period of time. Then I moved to Lebanon, lived for another extended period of time. And then I came here. So, yes, would that allow me to say that I'm multicultural? Yes. But that doesn't mean that I will be culturally sensitive. I think this is the difference. They are cultured women, but they're not culturally sensitive. And Erica, she's not, she tries to play cool, but she's very arrogant. She's arrogant, period, end of story. So I don't feel like even Erica, we can consider her to be culturally sensitive. I think this is the difference.
One thing I want to point out, because I know that someone get like, oh, I grew up in New York and there's all kinds of different cultures. And that makes me, very open-minded and cultural. Let me tell you something. You could be from New York and grew up, and I'll point out one of the boroughs, Staten Island, because I was born and raised there. And you could grow up on a particular area of Staten Island where there are no other races besides one particular race. And I wouldn't believe you if you told me that you are open to other cultures and that you're cultural or that you've been exposed to other cultures. Just because you lived in Paris or you just lived in London doesn't mean you really immersed yourself in the different cultures that were around you. Just saying.
Also, it also, I want to say your parents have a lot to do with it as well. Because if your parents don't have that open mind to expose you, or if your parents are racist, then you kind of pick some of that stuff up along the way. You might not pick it all up, but you're going to kind of pick some of that stuff up along the way, because you have kids nowadays who go to school where there's a lot of diversity, there's a lot of culture, there's a lot of multicultural. But when they get home, they're used to seeing their parents pop the hand of the Mexican housewife, a housekeeper. It's just certain things that you see inside the home as well, and people don't take that into consideration. They want to think that their travels make them so well diverse. Yeah, you can get on daddy's private jet and go off somewhere and say that you're diverse, but the reality is your daddy is a shut up. I was about to say something.
Don't get my channel.
I know. That's I caught myself. But yeah, I just
get back on that. My parents were extremely conservative, and they made sure that we would mingle with the Brazilian people as less as they could. It's like that is not like, just because they were always like, they wanted us to marry from the same religion and they wanted to go back to their homeland. Like my dad, he made a library at home so that we would have our projects done. Like, we can't have group projects. We were not allowed to go to the public library in a group project with our friends. It was known at school that if there's a group work, it's going to be done individually. And, even that didn't make me not be exposed to the Brazilian culture. It always made me aware of the differences in culture. I feel like that depends a lot on the person, like individually, on how open you are, how to accept other people.
In your own effort.
Yeah,
you have to,
I think based
on what Sutton was saying, her living in Paris and London, I'm assuming this was her as a full-grown adult, not necessarily her growing up.
Eating smoked salmon. You know how expensive that is? Oh gosh. The most
I want to round out this conversation. We've already been almost an hour and a half talking about family karma and the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you're watching this conversation after the live, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, I want to remind you that I'm on CAMEO, and from June 4th to June 11th, you can get a special birthday message, advice, whatever it may be you want me to say in this message. But of course, let it be, come on. For the celebration of LGBT Pride Month, they will be donating 20% of the net profit from these cameos that I do, and I'm donating my portion 100% to any of these organizations that are part of it. I believe, and I just want to point out the names of the organizations that are involved. Centerlink, GLAAD, the National Black Justice Coalition, Outright Action International, SAGE, and the Trevor Project. So if you would like a cameo from me, know that between June 4th and June 11th, 100% of those proceeds and additionally 20% of what Cameo would make is going to these charitable organizations. The links are available in the description of this video. I want to round out this conversation and see what you guys lastly think and what you're looking forward to both on Family Karma and on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Miriam, you're muted.
Can you guys see me? Because I see black. Okay. Well, first, I hope like Monica, the old Monica, get checked. She needs to bring up her level of honesty to the level of the other cast members. Because the other cast members, they say the good, the bad, and the ugly, and they're funny. I hope they keep, although they have money, they come off very relatable and non-arrogant. There's not a non-arrogance about their wealth that I love. So I love that. I would love to see that. And I hope Vishal finds true love with his childhood friend, not with his ex. That's my hope. And I hope Drake calls me.
Who?
Drake.
Wait,
Drake.
The actual Drake.
Yes.
Not the dollar store Drake.
Just call me.
You kind of look like his baby mama a little bit.
Oh,
listen, I'm going to be respectful. I'm a fan. I'm going to be respectful.
What about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Miriam?
Oh, I want Lisa to fall off her horse on her nose.
Not on her nose.
At least she didn't say her lips.
Her lips will explode. Her lips will explode.
Speaking of, she does have a lipstick line that's out now.
Oh, God. Why are you plugging that?
I'm just giving you parts of what we got from this is a recap. I'm just letting you know what happened in the episode. We learned that she has a lipstick line that she's been plotting and planning for 15 years. And finally, I think it's out. It should be out by now. I don't wear lipstick, so.
She doesn't have a single, by this time, she should have one single thing that really worked. She does a lot. She's a hustler. So
exactly. Danielle points out she makes a lot of money off of QVC.
Still, I thought they dropped her.
No, she's still there. Sorry, boo, she's still there.
Okay. No, don't be sorry. I just don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like what she did with Denise. I got all riled up again when I watched the reruns. Bravo, they know what to do. They know what to do with me. They resurfaced feelings that I had against Lisa. It's just bad. I hope karma will get to her. That's all.
Oh, damn. Thank you, Miriam, for calling. And as I said before,
Wish you luck.
what is that? Oh, you're gonna have to tell us later. All right, bye.
She getting ready to swipe left.
Right. I'll swipe left. Danielle, last minute thoughts on Family Karma and of course the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay, so I have the DVR revved up to pick up from the basketball scene of Family Karma. Whatever happens, and we probably might need Miriam or Shan for this, but on the first season, there was an older lady who was single, like a single mom. She was older than the bulk of the cast. And I don't remember.
Oh yeah, Bali.
Is that her name? Whatever happened to her?
She had a very small. She came to the pool party, which you probably fell asleep on. She came to the pool party, but she didn't have a big part in this first episode.
She doesn't need to be a part of the show because
why not? I like her.
She was fine if the rest of the age demographic, and I'm not trying to be like ageism and all the other stuff, but she's like an auntie to them. She's not part of that crew. Like they didn't grow up with her.
She's sort of like a transition though between auntie and that crew, but they like her.
She's the babysitter. So when they were little, she was old enough to babysit, and that's how they know her. While the parents went out, she was the babysitter. And yeah, she's only there to find herself a rich man. We learned that from season 1, but I was wondering whatever happened to her. So I'm going to go watch. There. I'll see it when I watch. And I can't get over that basketball scene. if this, I know this might sound horrible. The movie White Men Can't Jump, they should do Indian.
I mean, they were sort of saying that themselves because it took them forever to make a basket.
Oh my goodness! And only one of them made a basket out of all of them. Only
and
one.
The gay one. Hey, Amrit.
They couldn't even get a basic layup. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? So that was hilarious. But I want to know what happened. Like, I'm really looking forward to Beverly Hills next week because I want to know what happens when Sutton goes into Crystal's room and she's like, "But I was naked." So that I'm very interested to see how that plays out. I want to see Kathy's next prank that might not prank or whatever. I just think Kathy is
where she falls on her face. Well, but just backtracking to what you said about Sutton walking in on Crystal, I never like it when someone knocks on the door and then they open the door. Like, wait for me to tell you to come in.
So when I watched that scene, because I watched the episode twice, I took it as though Sutton, either Crystal didn't hear her or Sutton. Yeah, I didn't take it as a bad thing. I get what you're saying. And I guess it depends on the relationship of the people. I think that's key because if I'm knocking on my girlfriend's door, I might go ahead and just knock and walk on in because of our rapport.
But remember the relationship between Crystal and Sutton. They're not really girlfriends.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. It depends on the relationship of the people. So based on this relationship, Sutton should have waited. I also think that Sutton, was this her way of trying to extend the olive branch by taking Crystal her coat?
I think that's what she was trying to do, but Sutton's so awkward.
Shady. Yeah, it just, to me, it seemed shady. She was like, a real friend will take you your coat. No, they won't. Like, it's fine. We're in a house. Everything is like, I didn't know how to take that. So I'm interested to see how this pans out next week.
I think also Crystal might have been concerned that Sutton overheard all the negative things that she was saying on the phone about her.
But if Sutton assumes that Crystal was talking about her, because again, if you listen to the conversation, Crystal never said Sutton's name to whoever she was talking to. She never mentioned any names. She just said, we're just not getting along. It's just, so you could really be talking about anyone. So if Sutton walks in and assumes that Crystal's talking about her, like she did when she assumed that everyone was plotting on her, like, that's her own insecurities. And Sutton needs to work on that. Maybe she needs to go lay on someone's sofa.
I mean, I would hope she already has, but you never know. You never know.
She might think she's Southern perfect, honey.
Oh, God. Danielle, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your thoughts on Family Karma and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Thank you.
Everyone, we have over 100 something people in the chat. Be sure to like this video. If you're watching this afterwards, let me know your thoughts on the premiere episode of Family Karma and the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Lily, thank you for reminding me to remind everyone else, if you haven't checked out Up and Adam's YouTube channel, to see the trailer of his interview with Fallon. Be sure to check it out. We will be going live later tonight. I haven't decided on the time because the brother needs to eat and take care of business. But we will be going live later to talk a little bit more about Portia and things that have been transpiring on the internet. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we see in this trailer. I'll see you guys later. Again, for more information on how you can support the channel, check out the links in the description of this video. And also, be sure to follow me on my social media so you get minute by minute up-to-dates on some of your favorite hot topics. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe as well. Shout out to all of my mods. Happy birthday to Curvy. Curvy Queen. Curvy Queen says, hi, everyone. Hey, Kemp. I've been away. My birthday was Monday. Gone. Missed you. Missed you too, Curvy Queen. Happy belated birthday. Shout out to all the Geminis. I'm scared of you. Joking. Anyways, guys, as I said to you before, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live, like we're probably going to go live later. And so you never miss out on breaking news or any uploads. And be sure to check out that Erica Girardi story that I posted earlier today. Thank you to my mods. Thank you for the super chats. And thank you to everyone that watched. Shout out to you, TikTok, for watching as well. I will see you guys later.